It's about 8:20 on Saturday, June 18th, 2022. We're parked at the Hancock Overlook parking area, and right in the middle, right here, I don't know if it shows up, there's a rainbow. Today's going to be cloudy, possibly raining, possibly snowing, who knows. Windy, cold, winter conditions above 4,000 feet, maybe above 5,000. The weather forecasts all over the place. Anyway, we're going out to do the Hancocks and possibly bushwhack over to Northwest Hancock, depending on what the weather's like once we're up there. We're about 2 1/3 miles in right now, and we just crossed them. I think that's the most significant water crossing. There might be one more that's on the large side. This section of trail is particularly rocky. It's kind of pretty, but it's also kind of a pain in the butt. We got Labrador tea blooming. Tons of lady slippers still. Clintonia, bunchberry, starflower. What else did I see? That might be it for now. Oh, a little bit of rhodora hanging on. Whoops. That's the first one I've seen of those. So this trail is notoriously wet, and actually it's been really dry, I think, even though that was a little bit wet. There's a white lady slipper. I don't know if it's focused on it. Okay. Yeah, I think it's misting out right now, but it's not windy down low. It's not pouring rain. We're making good time. We're 53 minutes in, 2.4 miles. That's pretty good. The first couple miles is almost completely flat, very gradual. And then the climb up to north and down to, oh, there's a Clintonia, down to south, or down from south, are very, very steep. So that's going to be slow. Bunchberry. All right, now we're out of the rocks and into the roots. Okay, no views today on Hancock. This is coming up the North Hancock section of the loop trail. We are most of the way up the steep, and that is the one place where you can turn around and get a view out, but we're in a cloud now. So we got a little bit more climbing right here. Come around the corner, and it's much less steep. And then we will enter a section with a bunch of blowdowns that has views out, but we won't have any views today. That's okay. It's not raining.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, so far. So. All right, so the worst of the climb is over. We just started our bushwhack to Northwest Hancock, and there's a little bunny. He's like 8 feet away from me, right there. And it's not a snowshoe hare. I don't know what kind of. It's not my typical eastern cottontail either. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna look him up when I get home. He's just relaxing. So the woods is quite open and quite mossy, and I think we're heading that way. I don't want to scare him, so he's right where I wanted to go, but that's all right. He's getting ready to move. We are at Northwest Hancock. The sign used to be right there. It's now broken off. There used to be a fire tower up here that was only in place for like 5 years in the late 1930s. This is part of a stove. And then there's some wiring and other remnants. I guess if you go out into the woods, you can find more. It was not a manned, perpetually manned fire tower. It was only when they had really high probability of fires that they manned it. So I think they just, I have no idea how they accessed it because it was kind of a bear to get out here. I thought it would be a little simpler going.
The easy path.
I know. I don't know. So we came out from North Hancock and came across the ridge. So the beginning was beautiful, lovely moss, open woods, easygoing. No real discernible path because it was just so open. And then it got thicker, then it thinned out, then it just was, I don't know, not great. Slow going. But it's not raining. Things are wet though, so we're all wet. And we're foggy. So this is it, Northwest Hancock. Such as it is. Okay, lunch and then keep going. We're about halfway done with the bushwhack, coming back. And this area is just moss and pretty widely spaced trees. So that's nice. We just came out of a semi-thick area. I think we have one more thick spot that maybe we might be able to avoid. I don't know. But overall, it hasn't been a horrible bushwhack. It's just kind of long. It's just a slog. I mean, that's
it's nice to know where it is. We don't really know where it is.
Well, it wouldn't be a bushwhack if it were a herd path, right?
This is true. Most bushwhacks.
Yeah, a lot of bushwhacks in New Hampshire actually have a trail because so many people take them, but this one, not so many. I did see one person sign the register from last year, and it's not the guy who I read the trail report, so
he probably would sign it.
I don't know. All right, that's what it looks like. We're heading this way now. This is like the last little climb before South Hancock. And it is starting to blow a gale up here. Let's see. It comes in fits and starts. So right now it's not blowing too hard. This tree next to me is making noise. All right, the summit I think is right up here. So let's go get it. Just past two other guys. Yep, here's the summit. There's the sign heading us north. Tiny little cairn. And there's a viewpoint down there, but as you can see, we are socked in, so we're not going to bother. Okay, and we're going to go right down there, which is quite steep, but it should be pretty quick descent because we're highly motivated. So this is a small water crossing right at the junction of Cedar Brook Trail and Hancock Notch Trail. And what does it say on this side? To Hancock Loop, yeah. So we're gonna go this way. It's like 2.4, I think. Back to the car, really easy walking. I think there's another water crossing, maybe. At least one more. But the water has all been easily hopped today. And the trail has not been particularly muddy or flooded, which this one is notorious for both. So even with the slightly wet conditions, it's been good conditions on the trail. So I'm calling us basically done. I think it's going to shake out to be a little over 11 miles with our bushwhack in there. I haven't figured out how long that actually was, but it took us 3 hours, so I think it was probably around 2 miles total for that. But 2 more left on the trail rights. one of which should not be horrible, and one is going to be really, really, really bad. So, gotta psych myself up. Yep, here's another water crossing. I think this is the last major one. All right.